The MPI of ROAS, return on ad spend, is the most widely incorrect metric to use in every company I've ever worked with. I truly mean that. ROAS is not a very healthy business metric to look at. It's a good in-campaign, in-app metric to look at, but only when you know what that number should look like. For example, your brand campaigns probably have a 20x ROAS. You put $1 in, you get $20 out. And people think, wow, that's a great ROAS. But then they also think, wow, okay, that makes sense because these are people already looking for me. We got to keep that same mindset all the way back up the funnel. The ROAS in-app is going to look worse the colder something gets. Typically, when you see high ROAS Google Ads campaigns, it usually means it's going to, warm traffic, returning customers, people that already know about your brand. That's not good. If ROAS was a good metric to grow your business on, my suggestion would be shut off all of your marketing except for your brand and see what happens to your volume. It's not a really good metric to determine business health. But your top of funnel should be, at a benchmark of 0.25, 0.5 ROAS. Your middle of the funnel should be like a 1 to 2 to 3. Your bottom of the funnel should be a, 5, 10, 15, 20. And those are why ROAS is good to look at in the user journey. My people that are just finding out about us aren't, spending copious amounts of money for little costs up in this area. ROAS typically has an upward metric the warmer you get. So it is a good way to identify how cold the traffic is in a account, but it's also good to identify what is the return of that portion of that person's journey through that stage. It's like a CPA. I should only really get a return of X if that portion of that person's journey is remaining fairly healthy. It is good to measure that if your cold traffic that is cold traffic that is getting good performance in ROAS, let's say a 0.5 goes down to a 0.25, something happened. It means that cold traffic has either gotten less interested or, they're no longer, kind of starting their journey as effectively as they used to. So it is good to benchmark it. But what you want to stay away from is saying, well, Google gives me a 5x ROAS. That is 100% false. Or Meta only gives me a 2x ROAS. That's also 100% false. What they're saying is that it costs me, 2 times more expensive to start a person than it is to finish their journey. To measure by ROAS is looking at multiple channels and saying that it's a lot easier to convert somebody when they want to buy something than it is to generate that demand for your company. Benchmarking ROAS is okay, saying that this is what it should cost me, or combining all of your ROASs together to get a blended ROAS, aka MER, is a good idea. But your ROAS should not be measured as in a comparison model. It should never be that Meta is better than Google, or YouTube is worse than Google, or YouTube is worse than Meta, etc. The other reason why, and the main reason why people usually always miss this, is ROAS is typically a click attributed metric. Click attributed means, did they click and can I see the return? Very little clicks come from YouTube. So the return on ad spend in YouTube can't really be identified because people didn't click. What is the cost per changing someone's mind into something that is starting their journey to your product? It's immeasurable. Same reason why Super Bowl ads are $5 million, but no one's ever clicked on that. There isn't a ROAS in Super Bowl. But people spend millions of dollars because they know that the unmeasurable, the not click attributed, is very important. So if you're growth minded and you're still measuring by ROAS and you're hitting ceilings, that's why. We have to look at media efficiency ratios and NCACs and less into MER, because MER is only really as strong as that individual channel's ability to track every single person, regardless of where they came from, and say, did they click on my ad and did they eventually buy? And it's a singular metric that usually just measures an efficiency of a journey in that one particular use case of that channel. So that's why ROAS is okay to measure relatively, meaning relative to the journey, but not a business metric to measure.